Good evening, one. Good evening, all. Welcome to Trades Talk. I am your host, Pop Culture Mechanic. You can call me Pop for short. And for these streams on Tuesdays, it's all about looking through the lens from an industrial viewpoint. This is where I talk about being in the skilled trades and how you can get into it and what's out there for you. And hopefully I can be your guide into the world of the skilled trades. Before I get into that, I'd just like to say hello to David Glenn. You wish you had a backhoe like that. That thing has such amazing reach. It's unbelievable. Those great alls, they work beautifully. And hello to you, Alex Moore. You heard trains, so you're here. A fellow train enthusiast, I see. And yes, because I did some training on trains today, I thought that would be a good topic. When you hear about all the fatalities that happen with trains and such, it sounds like it's a very dangerous, sector of the trades to get into, dealing with trains. They don't stop for anything. They're ultra heavy, and there's no stopping them. It's unbelievable. Anyways, as you very well know, we're going to go through the news of the week. See what's going on out there in industry. I like to see if more factories are being built, or if people are going on strike, or what's going on, or businesses consolidating. Let us have a look. And that is courtesy of the Plant Magazine. And I saw this article, and I thought, that's a strange one. It says, Kourechi Innovations robot in action at the U.S. Open. Okay, well, what is this thing doing at the U.S. Open? As golf facilities worldwide face staffing shortages, the Picker offers a sustainable solution to the labor-intensive task of range picking. Well, I don't know if it was ever that labor-intensive. Don't you just hop into a machine and it scoops up all the range balls? Anyways, let's see what they have to say. In Oshawa, that's in Ontario, Kourechi Innovations Incorporated introduced its autonomous robotic golf ball picker, the Picker 1500, at the 124th U.S. Open at Pinehurst Resort. As golfers perfect their drives on the newly converted Cradle 9-hole course, the Picker robot is trying to enhance the efficiency and safety of golf ball retrieval. So it's a Roomba. It's a Roomba for a golf course. That's pretty much what it is. And hello to you, DJ Ronnie G. How you doing, DJ? Through the courtesy of the Electric Company. I knew we were going with that. It goes on here. The Picker 1500 is reportedly designed for rugged terrains like Pinehurst Driving Range. Features a durable steel frame and a thick stainless steel shell, ensuring it operates under the harsh conditions of a professional practice range. Equipped with GPS technology, the robot apparently collects thousands of balls daily, ensuring a supply for competitors. The introduction of the Picker 1500 at a high-profile event such as the U.S. Open may suggest that the robot is reliable. The robot's lightweight design, paired with a long-lasting battery, reportedly allows for all-day operation, minimizing disruptions to practice sessions. As golf facilities worldwide face staffing shortages, the Picker offers a sustainable solution to the labor-intensive task of range picking. By automating ball retrieval, staff can focus on enhancing guest experiences and other value-added services. And the owners don't have to pay for somebody. That's probably the big thing. The shift not only addresses operational challenges, but also aligns with the growing trend towards sustainable practices in sports management. Really, sustainable practices in sports management. Yeah, okay. I mean, you could always wait until the golfers go home and get them all picked up. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be too quick to praise this thing. Like, oh, look, it collects golf balls. Yeah, it just takes a job away from somebody. That's what it does. Let's see. OC Transpo acquires 51 electric buses from Novabus. This order is part of OC Transpo's zero-emission bus program, which aims to fully transition its bus fleet to zero emission by 2036. So that's fine. I've lived in other cities where there is like electric buses that ride on the wires above the street. Those are zero emission, and all they are is just an electric motor that takes its power from the overhead wires. Making these into battery ones, now you have to get rid of batteries when they're no good anymore. So I'm just saying right now, they're all, crowing about how it's zero emission, but we've had this already. This is not new. So I don't see what stop celebrating doing stupid stuff. You've already had electric buses. One less job, dang robots. Yeah, Alex. If we stop measuring, all vehicles are zero emissions. Hey, Godzillionaire, good to see you. Well, I would say that the engines that we have now are much better at controlling emissions than they were back in the 1960s and 1970s. So even now, there should be a major increase in the quality of the tailpipe emissions. Anyway, let's see. St. Eustache, OC Transpo, which provides transit services across Ottawa, Ontario, and into Gatineau, Quebec, is successfully pursuing its electrification plan by acquiring 51 LFSE plus all-electric buses from Novabus. This order is part of OC Transpo's zero-emission bus program, which aims to fully transition its bus fleet to zero emission by 2036. They could have done this already if they would have used electric buses that have their wires overhead. They could have done this already. There shouldn't be anything new to celebrate. These 51 electric buses will be provided by Novabus, member of the Volvo Group and involved in electric bus manufacturing in Canada. The LFSE Plus is one of the all-electric bus models of Novabus. It has reportedly built on the reliable LFS platform, offering the fully electric version of a bus that several transit agencies in Canada may already be familiar with. Novabus is incredibly proud to be working with OC Transpo to support its transition to a zero-emission bus fleet, said Paul Ollier, president of Novabus. We fully understand the importance of this milestone and commend OC Transpo for its ambitious plan. We are committed, as all our partners in the transit community, to make this transition a reality by providing safe, sustainable, and reliable electric buses. We are very much looking forward to seeing the first OC Transpo LFSE buses on the streets in Ottawa. Once again, this could have been done years ago. It's the difference between an electric bus and a battery-powered bus. Obviously, these are going to be battery-powered because you've had electric for actually a long time. Back in the 1930s and 1940s, I swear they would have had, what would they call them now? Streetcars. Streetcars were electric. It's like these guys, I just don't get it. It just blows my mind that these guys are just making a big deal about this when this could have been done years ago, decades ago. Just mount a wind turbine on top of the bus. Wind turbines work so well, right? Yeah, blowing up maybe. They spin so fast and they rip themselves apart. Novabus, Nova in Spanish doesn't go. Nova. Siemens to invest $14 million in Drummondville, Quebec manufacturing plant. Manufacturing what, though? Come on. There we go. Siemens Canada says it's investing approximately $14 million in a multi-phased modernization of its 10,000 square meter manufacturing facility located in Drummondville, Quebec, with the aim to optimize overall efficiency and capacity of the plant and position it for future growth. Plans for the facility include expanded production of made-to-order product lines in response to market demands. Switchboard production, as an example, will see 50% volume increase. The modernization project will position the Drummondville factory and its approximately 350 employees for the future and could result in an increase of up to 15% in jobs by 2027. Siemens is excited to be investing in Canada, contributing to a skilled job creation and the growth of digital manufacturing in Quebec, says Faisal Kazi, President and CEO, Siemens Canada. This transformation will allow us to scale and pivot to serve a growing market, ensuring we can continue to supply the Canadian market with high-quality products. The announcement was made on June 13th at an event held at the facility and attended by employees, Drummondville Mayor Stéphanie Lacoste, and Siemens executives. Don't they manufacture laws that infringe on freedoms in Quebec? They have the language police in Quebec. If something has to be, the French has to be larger than the English, and one example is they used to just call a hot dog le hot dog, but they made them change it to le chaud chien, which is literally hot dog. So they do have the language police there. The products manufactured in Drummondville are key components of sustainable infrastructure supporting both buildings and industrial applications, said Matthias Rebellius, member of the managing board of Siemens AG and CEO of Smart Infrastructure. By investing in modernization and responding to shifting market conditions, we ensure that the factory continues as a significant contributor to developments in domestic infrastructure, especially as the markets embrace the opportunities of digital transformation. Along with expanded production of made-to-order switchboards, power panels, and panel boards, the plan also includes improved manufacturing processes, including increased automation and a revised layout of shop floor machinery to improve material flow. In addition to benefiting our employees and the Drummondville community, this project represents a strong step in supporting our valued Canadian distribution ecosystem, made up of 40 partners and 330 branches, to better serve the market through their channels, says Barry Powell, business head, Siemens Electrical Products North America. All phases of the modernization and expansion project expected to be completed in 2027. Well, they got 3 years to go. So they're investing money in their own plant. Birchcliff Energy and AltaGas announced expanded partnership. Birchcliff Energy and AltaGas announced an expanded partnership focused on trying to reduce long-term operating costs and connect more liquefied petroleum gas into premium global markets. Well, for that, we've got to have pipelines. And I know everyone gets up in arms, especially the tree-hugging crowd there about, oh, pipelines, they're so bad. You know what? They're safer than trains. As long as they do regular pipeline maintenance, you're going to be just fine. So I'd say as long as we can get the pipelines built, we can provide as much liquid natural gas, oil, all that stuff. The Le Trudeau. Yeah, Godzillionaire. Yeah, you do have to see -1, DJ. Go see -1. Mrs. Mechanic and I went and saw it in the theater, and it was great. As part of the increased partnership, Birchcliff and AltaGas have entered into a long-term contract operating agreement whereby Birchcliff will take over operatorship of AltaGas Gordondale Deep Cut Gas Processing Facility. This will allow Birchcliff to leverage cost optimization opportunities that exist between its 100% owned and operated gas plant at Pont-Scoop and the Gordondale facility, which are located approximately 6 miles apart and are pipeline connected. These optimization opportunities are hoping to drive lower operating costs, reduce downtime, and optimize natural gas liquids recoveries for Birchcliff with no net impact on AltaGas profitability. Trains are safer, especially when tank cars crash. Have to argue with you on that one. AltaGas will continue to own 100% of the Gordondale facility with no plans to reduce its ownership. The Gordondale facility will continue to operate under the existing long-term take-or-pay processing agreement between the parties, with Birchcliff as operator for the remainder of the processing agreement's term, which will continue until at least December 31st, 2032. Birchcliff has also entered in additional long-term rolling agreements with AltaGas, whereby Birchcliff will market additional LPG volumes through AltaGas global export platforms, which is aligned with AltaGas strategy to grow tolling volumes and cash flow predictability while providing Birchcliff with direct market access to premium LPG netbacks in Asia and Far East index pricing. The uniqueness of these agreements is underpinned by Birchcliff representing 100% of throughput volumes at the Gordondale facility, which creates the opportunities for operational efficiencies and cost savings within Birchcliff's Gordondale and Paul Scoop areas. Okay, well, they're working closer together just to expand the one company's global reach. You had a moron argue with you that pipelines were just hoses that polluted the environment nonstop, like they wouldn't be covered 24/7 in the media if that were... Yeah. Go look at a pipeline, you numbskull. Get out there and go and see what's done. They have people that patrol the pipelines. They don't want to lose any product. It's bad press, first of all. And secondly, you're losing money. If it's spilling all over the ground, you're not selling it. So, pull your head out of your ass, go and look and do some research on those pipelines. I know, yeah, you're just kidding, DJ. You're always pulling my leg. You think most train crashes are a result of bad track maintenance? The iron ore trains here in Minnesota never derail. Ah, there you go. Track maintenance is part of it for sure there, David. Track maintenance and the operators, the conductor and the engineer, they have to make sure that, all the brakes are set before they leave the train. They have to do push-pull tests to see that all the brakes are holding on the rail cars. There's a minimum number of handbrakes to set on for the number of rail cars. There's a lot of regulations they have to follow, and that's where most of the accidents happen. Is they don't follow the regulations. This is what I learned today. Liquid cargo hauls differently, though. That slosh will screw you up if you don't know what you're doing. It will. Also, some of them will have baffles in there to reduce the sloshing around in there for the liquid. But a train can have, when they couple up, they can have up to 6 inches of movement. So if you have a 100-foot-long train and with 6 inches of play in each coupling, and it stops and it backs up, it's going to kick that last car on there. It's going to kick out, a long ways. And then that falls into being careful when walking around trains and rail cars that are getting moved around. Well, that's it for the news here. I don't think there's anything more for Plant Magazine. Let's move along now. I found some articles here. This is from the Dallas Express. So anybody that's around the Dallas area, which would be around Texas, they have an article that says skilled trade worker shortage impeding industries by Zero Hedge, of all things. Many college graduates are getting a reality check with large school debt and few job guarantees after college graduation, according to a report by Zero Hedge. Okay, well, there should be no guarantees when you're coming out of college, unless you've arranged already with a company. Once you get out of college, there's no guarantee you're going to get a job. This dilemma is why many are now suggesting that encouraging high school graduates to learn skilled trades not only is a suitable alternative, but also could save several industries that are desperate to find new workers. From plumbers and electricians to welders, auto mechanics, and construction workers, skilled trade jobs far exceed the people available to fill them. I mean, you guys know this. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that there's a big gap to fill. I say it every time. According to a recent study by management consulting firm McKinsey, from 2022 to 2032, annual hiring in trades is expected to be more than 20 times the projected annual increase in net new jobs, costing companies more than $5.3 billion annually. With a renewed focus on the lack of skilled trades workers, 47 states in 2023 enacted 115 policies related to career and technical education, or CTE. According to the nonprofit Advance CTE, which represents state CTE directors, according to Kevin Kohler, the president of the Construction Association of Michigan, part of the issue of the dearth of skilled trades workers needed for jobs is the stigma attached to choosing that career path over college. We've talked about this before as well on my various streams. The stigma over the trades over college. I never encountered any of that. Yeah, they encourage us to go to university in high school, but some of us just didn't go because there was nothing there that we wanted to take. At least that was in my case. But I mean, the stigma, I didn't encounter that, really. Obviously, that's an issue with students coming out of high school. What they don't realize is that trade jobs offer complete benefits, with some providing over $100,000 a year to provide for your family, he told the Epoch Times. However, one thing could energize Gen Z students is the technology component that now exists in many of these available jobs. Read the entire article, click here. Oh, I don't know. The thing that's not mentioned enough with the skilled trades is that for the most part, they're not region specific. You can go and live and work anywhere. Yeah, there you go, Godzillionaire. I don't know what it's like in the States, but you here, if you have a red seal, you can go to any province. It's pretty much, go where the work is. There's no time for a stigma when your toilet is backing up. You got that right. How you doing, Blaine? You're a busy guy. We can't wait to come down and have a good meal at your food truck. Me and Mrs. Mechanic, we're pretty excited about that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Do they have Red Seal? Godzillionaire? Do they have Red Seal in the States? If that's the case, you should be able to go to any state with your ticket. They shouldn't make you write it again. But I'm not sure how it works there. Okay, so let's try that again. The ad or the article continues on Zero Hedge's website. You almost backed up a toilet today, not used to 2-ply? Ooh. So it says everything is going computerized, from building online modeling, the use of drones on job sites, and a ton of 3D printing. This is adding to new attraction for some of these students. But manufacturing-rich states such as Michigan are being especially hit hard by the shortage of skilled trade workers. According to the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, skilled trade positions alone will account for about 47,000 annual job openings through 2028. Mr. Kohler says one of the more significant factors he's seen is the lack of emphasis on skilled trades in many high schools nationwide, including Michigan. Yes, high schools. Shame on you. Although I could see if colleges and universities were telling the high schools to be send the kids here to us. You never know. Maybe just putting a little tinfoil hat on, but that could be going on too, because colleges and universities need that tuition money, that sweet, sweet tuition money. You don't think the trades are quite that regulated here? You can go pretty much go anywhere in the States from what you know. You're no expert. Good enough for me. It says here, shop and art classes are the first things to go in school budget cuts. He said, we're doing a lot of advocacy and are constantly in front of the Michigan legislature asking for money to support some of these things. Listen, students need to be told they're going to come out of these trade programs with a certificate to get a job and not $124,000 in debt at college. The dilemma of lack of skilled trades workers is affecting multiple industries, including home builders trying to add to the depleted inventory in the United States. Labor is a top concern. You don't think most high school teachers want their students making more money than them without going to college? Stop sabotaging your own students. The National Association of Home Builders found in a survey that labor is a top concern for the industry, with 85% expecting future cost and availability problems, up from 13% in 2011. For more than a decade, automotive repair shop owners have struggled to find enough technicians to work on their cars. Work on the cars the customers bring in. A recent study from TechForce Foundation showed that the number of graduates completing post-secondary programs in the automotive sector has dropped by 20% since 2020, with 11.8% of the decrease occurring in just 1 year. TechForce reported that the United States will need more than 4 times more automotive technicians than will graduate in the next 5 years. So there you go. There's an opening. If you like working on cars, become an automotive service technician. There's going to be demand for you because of the decrease in graduates coming out of the programs. The dilemma is familiar to those trying to run small auto repair shops efficiently, such as Nicole Miskelly, the manager of PMR Auto and Diesel Repair in Marion, Illinois. We're definitely still struggling in finding mechanics who are regularly short, and right now we have 5 repair bays and only 3 technicians, including the owner, she told the Epoch Times. Ms. Miskelly said the types of vehicles coming into her shop now for repair are making it even more challenging to find mechanics with the skill levels to repair them. Yeah, because all the cars now are like computerized, so it's going to be tough. Blaine, you have licensing and bonding. You think it's technically state to state, but they all work off the NEC and other codes, so you can transfer state pretty easy. Okay, that's good. Hey, Comic Relief Crusader, dropping in, buddy. Hey, nice to see you. Hope things are going well for you. See, what I think, maybe I could go to the States to work. I think my ticket would be valid there. Maybe. I'd have to look into it and see if it would be okay. Not that I'm going to come down there and take your jobs. I've got my own job to do here. You've heard hybrid cars are the worst to work on, still have issues of a typical gas-powered engine, but a battery big enough to zap you? Yes. It's like a giant bug zapper. Like, for God's sake, disconnect all the lines going to that battery before you even touch the thing. It's not worth dying over, that's for sure. What's it say? Cars now aren't what they were 20 to 30 years ago, she said. There's a lot of electronics involved, and mechanics have to learn programming. Can't even fix brakes on some cars without knowing how to turn off the electronics to get to them. Kids are still being pushed to go to college and not learn trades. Recruiting for PMR has become so difficult that the company is now posting job listings in Chicago, more than 5 hours away from Marion. I mean, you should post everywhere. If you're okay with people wanting to move, people will move. People will move for work. I moved for work. I was living on the West Coast, and I moved inland for work. So people will. Pop took your... Took your gerbs. I'm not going to take your gerb. I got my own gerb. Honestly, the best we can hope for is that we want to get out of the city and move here for a simpler life and have a job when they arrive. The nation is also struggling to find plumbers, pipe fitters, steam fitters. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates between now and 2031 there will be 48,600 vacancies in those skills. One of the bigger obstacles for people such as Mr. Kohler and Cam is teaching schools, parents, and students that there are available trades jobs for which they may have more qualified than the skills they could achieve with college degrees. Yes. They're being told to go to college to be a doctor, but not everyone is cut out for that. There are a lot of intelligent people who should be entering the trades because of the money involved, he said. The sky's the limit for them. They could even end up starting their own company. Yes, that's true. AI technology is great, but they haven't figured out how to use it to build new buildings yet. Yes, AI will not take your trades job. Hey, James, how you doing? If I come in on a visa, you guys have reciprocity. Okay. Just fly to Mexico and walk across. No. Oh, it's funny because it's true. On the programming in cars isn't that crazy. I mean, what does the home mechanic do? Like OBD reader? Number 3, I believe they're at now. Maybe they're up higher than that, but you can do just about anything with that. And then you get really fancy, you start getting a laptop and plug it into your car. As long as you have the right software, it should be fairly easy to do what you need to do. Probably need some passwords and such. But you know, internet, it'll help you out. Hey James, does anyone believe Biden is running anything? You don't think he can run his feet or mouth? So yeah, well, you know, it's I watched him the other day. He got helped off the stage by Obama. That was nice of him. You know, after he froze on stage, didn't know what to do. You've had an OBD2 reader for years. The internet made it to where you didn't need to pay for the code book. Oh, nice. There you go. See right there, Godzillionaire. Good example right there. You saw one that used like Bluetooth or something for like $50. Whoa. Yeah, they shouldn't even be that expensive anymore, really. Let's move along to the next one. There's a university student that's offering a scholarship to someone who will study the trades. So, let's see here. I thought there was no better time to start than now, Daniel Rust says. Daniel Rust isn't finished his university education, but after starting a successful painting business, he says he's ready to help another student as they enter school. Rust is a fourth-year architectural engineering student at the University of Waterloo and also owns and operates Capstone Painting. He started the business as a way to pay for school. Now the 22-year-old is putting up $1,000 for a scholarship to a student who plans to enter the trades. Russ said he remembers winning scholarships when he graduated from high school in Petrolia, Ontario. I remember how much these awards helped me out, he said in an interview on the Morning Edition with Craig Norris. Another reason he wants to offer the scholarship is because of the worker shortage in the trades. So now you have a university student who knows about the shortage of the trades. He's an engineer, and he can see that the trades need people in them. Yeah, you got a laptop for your car, I would think, Blaine, for sure, for tuning and all that. That and a phone and whatever plus internet, probably a reasonable amount of internet sleuthing, probably can figure it out. I would think so. You can learn just about anything. Another reason he wants to offer the scholarship is because of the worker shortage in trades. Yeah, there's quite a shortage in the skilled trades, labor, and that shortage is only getting worse these days with a lot of older folks retiring and then not enough young people coming in to replace them. True. I've seen this. A really inspiring kid. When the Grand Valley Construction Association heard that Rust was doing, they wanted to help and agreed to match the scholarship, now making it $2,000. Jeff McIntyre, the association's president, called Rust a really inspiring kid. McIntyre said having someone like Rust promoting the trades in this way is also a big boon for the industry. We talk about it as being trades at the first career choice, not a default career. The opportunity to have a great living, earn some significant money, build things, he said. Amplifying trades of the first choice as a career is important. Beyond that, we are in such a deficit as it relates to talent that we need more people like Daniel giving others a route into the career. McIntyre said the association's philosophy is to build community, not just physically with structures, but also in other ways. That includes helping with the scholarship as the association marks 50 years. Why this thing with Daniel fits so well, we're talking about that for the past 50 years we've built community, and for the next 50, what are we going to do to build better communities, he said. Doing that, giving back to charity, giving back to those who need our assistance, and helping those people get into the trades is definitely aligned. Young people can apply to the scholarship through Rust's website for capstone painting and clicking on at the tab at the top for the scholarship application. The scholarship recipient will be notified by August 31st. It's a scholarship for taking a trade. This guy James, this guy in university is an engineering student, and he put up $1,000 as a scholarship for someone to get into the trades. So that'll help pay for their tuition and their books and stuff like that. And every little bit helps. You can learn to build just about anything on the interwebs. Just realize Big Brother is watching the spicy things. Yeah. Don't be building bad stuff. Don't build bad stuff. Russ said starting his own business in university was a challenge, and it meant he's missed out on parties and social events to finish painting jobs or do the books. He said he plans to keep going with his painting business after graduation. I won't lie, it's a lot of work, and it does take a lot of dedication, he said. It's really about keeping my eye on the long term, like I do really. I'm happy to put in the work up front. I'm focused on that long term. Even though he's still in school, Russ said he's happy he's able to offer a scholarship to someone else. As soon as this opportunity presented itself, it was something I wanted to do, and I wasn't expecting necessarily to have this ready to go in 2 years, but here I am, he said. Thought there's no better time to start than now, and then hopefully in the future years just keep doing the same thing, but bigger and better. All right, so there's a guy helping out, and he knows there's a problem. He knows that there's a shortage in the trades, and he's in university being an engineer. Your cat is loca? Mills and factories in small towns have been doing scholarships for local kids to go to college and come back to work there since they struggle with recruiting and retention. That's what they need to do. That's a good one. See, James. See. And here's this is for KTRH Texas News. And I think it's a radio show. It's a radio. Shortage of skilled trades workers crippling some industries. There's a growing need for more trained workers in trades. Some industries, including welding, manufacturing, and construction, just to name a few, are expected to go on a hiring overhaul to fill wanted positions. A study from McKinsey & Company says annual hiring in trades will be 20 times more than the projected increase in net new jobs. More skilled workers are being looked for to fill positions such as carpenters, electricians, and plumbers too. Longtime career counselor and author of Careers for Dummies, Marty Nemko, said today's hiring climate has shifted into more employers considering sex and or race more over someone's experience. There's a tremendous priority of getting women and minorities in trades, he said. That is an enormous change for how people are selected now. And honestly, I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, you can't force them. You can't force people to go into the trades. Women traditionally don't want to get into the trades. It's hard work, heavy lifting, hard work. You know, you're getting dirty. I mean, most of the time they don't want to do it. That selection process often relates to schools too, not just employment. Merit used to be the dominant factor. Now demographic can sometimes trump merit, said Nemco. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says the search for talent in trades has ramped up ever since COVID and the increase in labor scarcity. Average wages in the sector have gone up more than 20% since the first quarter of 2020. Nemco added that too much of the country, especially younger generations of people who recently graduated from higher level education, are more worried themselves about their work status and the experience and training they take on. America is a status-oriented people, Nemco said. Somehow, if you're working with your hands, you're a second-class citizen. There's no prestige, and that's foolish. Prestige is a fool's game. Nemco encouraged people to find something they enjoy doing that pays well, and a mentor to teach them the ins and outs of that industry along the way. Yeah, good advice. You realize people just don't think about problem solving? You're replacing bolts on your griddle lid with ball detente pins and working on your friends' cars. You found that they just stop when they hit a problem. Oh. See, I can't do that. It's my job. I have to solve problems where I'm at. If I encounter something that I'm repairing, I have to solve the problem. If I come up against something, it's like, oh, I can't, how do I get this apart? How do I do this without breaking it? What can I do to repair this? It's just, yeah, the problem solving needs to be worked on. The people need to learn more critical thinking, how to get through just basic problem solving, not give up. Cat's just wandering around like she's horny, but the old farmer associate says it's the wrong time of year for cats to go into heat. That's how she's acting. I mean, does it a time of year? Or maybe just cats just do it whenever they want. I don't know. Scale of 1 to maple syrup. How late are you? Tits, how you doing? You're alright. You're not too late. I still haven't got to my pictures yet. You find yourself being on disability, a more serious handicap to employment than the actual disability. The long gap in employment. Yeah, I've heard of that too. Those long gaps. Yeah, it makes it hard for guys to go back. You're a second-class citizen until they need something fixed. Yeah, tits, exactly. What's that? You need your toilet fixed? Oh, but don't you look down on me? Oh, maybe. You got to pay me $150 an hour, though, so I'll fix your toilet for you. And Blaze the Cat. Human Blaze the Cat, how you doing? Yeah, it's been a while. Hope you've been doing well. All right. You know, we're hanging out. We're having a good time. Every woman you know in the trades was built for it. By God, no DEI was needed. There you go. And that's the thing. They're built for it. They know it. Some just aren't. Religious sabbatical on your resume and close the gap. Employment gap classified. There you go, Godzillionaire. That would be yours. I was visiting Japan. You've been watching Speed Racer on Shout TV? Oh, okay. I started that too. I've been watching the original Speed Racer anime. And I think I got through the first 2 episodes. So, I'll be doing that. But yes, everyone seems to know that there's a problem, that there's a shortage, but they don't know what to do, the steps to take to help stop, and fill in all the shortages for the trades. Speed Racer live action movie is better than it should have been. I haven't seen that yet, but I'll probably watch it after I finish the anime show. You wonder how many employers would respect a person who embellished about the gap? I did tax-free freelance. All right, let's have a look here. So today I did rail training. 150 an hour. It's $450 just to walk in the door if they're cheap. Yeah, I mean, some of them have minimum charges. They go, yeah, okay, if I show up, it's this much minimum charge. And it's like, okay, well, I don't care. Come in and do your thing. Nobody's gonna. If you're really serious about it, you're not gonna blink an eye when the guy comes in because you want that toilet fixed. The biggest question is, how can learning the trade support Ukraine and free Palestine? It's going to happen when they finish their fighting and they rebuild. You watch all the companies from the U.S. that go there to do rebuild. I bet you Halliburton's in there. Good old Dick Cheney. Good old shoot you in the face Cheney. Like, oh my God, this guy wants me job quick. Dissuade him from trying hard. Write Hannah's hostage on your resume and they'll give you a promotion? I'm not sure about that, Tits. I'm not sure where you're coming from with that. So what you're saying is buying Halliburton stock would be a decent bet right now? Well, yeah, I mean, it's things aren't finished fighting over there, so once they start the rebuild, it'd be iCrane, sold by Apple. iCrane. Oh, man. Anyways, let's have a look here at the old rail yard. So this guy's riding on a rail car, and it must vary from site to site because we're not allowed to do that. You want to get a first-class ticket getting kicked off site? Let them catch you riding a rail car. At least where I'm at. You're not allowed to ride on rail cars. Because these things don't stop. Like,
but tomorrow they might have to go to C to D. So your job will finish, but work will never stop. So you look for job security. Railroad's not going anywhere.
In most rail yards, the switching team is responsible for getting cars to and from the.
So they're talking about the switching team. So the guys that are going to move and position cars back and forth.
Empty cars sit until needed. Pretty easy puzzle, huh? Well, not so fast.
Every day, the process is the same, but the way we get from point A to point B is going to change.
It's like Train Wars live action. There you go. They connected up with that coupler.
At most rail sites, rail switching is a 24-hour operation. There are no set break times, and shift after shift, rain or shine, the trains and our switchmen along with them are constantly on the move.
It's a lot of walking.
They'll be paying $100K for basic construction. Yeah, exactly. What kind of train anime is this? No lack of waifu. Come on, Godzilla. That was a couple months back. I had the train anime waifus.
Where you might have to walk 15 to 20 cars just to see if it's laced up for that train to move.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours. Other times it's 110 degrees. I like being out.
So he was just hooking up the airline for the air brakes.
So I don't think an office is where it's at for me.
With constantly moving trains, rail yards can be very hazardous environments. Switchmen have to be alert at all times and follow procedures by the book. It's also why our switchmen look out for each other.
So rail cars are real quiet too. So if you're working around there, they don't have any engines on them or anything like that. They don't make any noise. If they start rolling, you won't even hear them coming. It's amazing. Something so big, but I learned today that the contact point between the rail and the wheel of a rail car is the size of a dime. That is how much contact is made with that wheel on that point of the rail, which is incredible. But this is why they roll so well. They don't have a lot of contact. So if you bite it and attract the reaper's attention, you're likely either dead or serving your sentence in medical. Hopping a freighter, you mean? Yeah, maybe. You grew up living next to train tracks. You don't even notice their sounds anymore. Yep, that's what happens. Just like living next to an airport.
As they perform their job duties.
I'm a hobo. I gotta hop that train.
I just try to do my best to help other guys.
Did you know that hobo stands for homeward bound?
I expect them to
I found that out a couple months back.
remain safe.
Teamwork, camaraderie, and a sense of accomplishment at the end of the shift.
So everybody has to look out for one another in the rail yard.
You learn to love it. You know, the time off, the working day.
A lot of engineering was done. Oh yeah.
Environment. I like the people I work with. I work with great people. People care about you, make you laugh. They look out for you. Being out here
You knew that? Did know that, Tits? Well, that's good.
people that you learn to love and care for. I don't think that happen any other way.
At Petroleum Service Corporation, we load and unload more product than any other company.
Boo, engineers.
At the end of the day, in those times when you get it done,
Unless they've got field experience, I got no use for engineers. If they're not going to
I got where I'm
get out and do some field work,
safely.
just sit behind a desk, then don't even bother. Come and talk to me.
Our mission is simply to be the best what we do. So, are you ready to give it your best?
This is like a recruitment video for Petroleum Service Corporation. Ooh, fire training for a rail car. Yep, this thing's on. I think I better cut the. Would you believe I got freaking copyrighted the last trades talk? I know it sounds amazing, but they were like, "Oh no, some of the music on here is copyrighted." I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" I never get copyrighted on trades talk. In-plant railcar safety. Here you go.
1,000 accidents, hundreds of injuries, and a handful of fatalities related to rail cars. Rail cars are silent killers. This
You're
is
actually more boo government regarding the recent rail disaster.
in-plant rail car accidents.
It's funny how we all wanted to work on a train as kids. These guys are living their childhood dream. Yeah,
This video include working and walking between cars.
the desk guys have their place when you need someone to calculate how much heat or stress something can take. They're very useful. Yeah, I guess. I mean, some of them are socially awkward too, so it's best just to keep them behind a desk and not interact with people.
Operating switches and derails.
There he is. He's pushing that along with a little trackmobile. The thing is, the rail cars are easy, like they're easy to get moving. You can get them moving, but you better not be going too fast because they don't. They'll drag you along.
Primary method of communication between the groundman and trackmobile operator is by radio. The groundman must remain in visual or radio contact with the switching unit operator at all times. Do not give the signal to move the
So they're talking about right now that the ground man
other equipment until
has to maintain contact with by radio to the person who's operating the engine or whatever's pushing the rail cars. Hey, Veritex, how you doing? Yep, train cars. Yeah, I got some of them. All right, some. Steel don't stop on a dime. You got her, tits. Rail cars actually physically can't move without graffiti on the side. It's just science.
are clear of movement.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Signaling devices in working order and ready for use. Stop
I'm gonna line it up with that loading rack, it looks like.
given the signal. The spotter and switching unit operator must be trained on proper signals. The spotter must signal clearly. If a non-standard signal is used, the operator shall stop all movement immediately. Before
GATX is General American Transportation Corporation. Look at you, Veritex. Look at you go.
have a clear understanding of the work to be performed. If positive protection cannot be provided, all crew members must ensure proper safeguards are in place.
So we own some of our rail cars and we rent some of our rail cars.
In or
So
on moving rail cars.
you used to think it was code for what was inside. So disappointed. No, it's actually written really clearly on on tank cars what is inside. People need to know, like fire department, anybody like that. You thought GATX was the general neutral term for cat and Spanish. The gender neutral term. Yeah. There you go. He's chalking them up. You got to chalk those tires.
Do not use a track spike. Do not chalk moving rail equipment.
See, he'll set the park brake, or he should anyway. He should set the brake on the on that, and then put chocks on it.
Individuals may operate switches or derails. Switches have different operating characteristics that could change because of weather, temperature, and maintenance. Before attempting to operate
Okay, he's using switches now to switch from one line to another.
track equipment at least 50 feet from the switch stand to be lined when possible. Look in both directions and watch for moving equipment on it.
GATX X105 Strike Gundam. That's the train Gundam. You thought that was code for a transsexual firearm?
Clear to avoid being struck or caught by the switch lever handle.
As far as I know, they have little hooks on them, Godzillionaire, for the wheel chocks. And the ones we have aren't magnetic, but they'll have like a little hook on the end that'll hook onto the lip of the rail. Wheels, tires are rubber. Yes, tires are rubber. Wheels,
Before getting off equipment, determine that
diethylcarbamazine, based on that 3052 placard. Okay, look at you. Veritax knows his rail stuff,
positive control of the moving car until it is stopped and the handbrake
or at least his chemicals. It's TDG.
The ground man must always be used to give direction during railcar movements unless the switching unit is leading the train. Do not use chains or
A
wires
100-year-old switch.
railcar to a switching unit.
Sure looks like it.
Stationary at least 2
Some of the tracks are really old. They'll have the numbers embossed on them. So the track where I work is from 1955. And yeah, you'll see there's a lot of old track around.
Stay clear of any rail cars during coupling movements.
You worked on a logistics depot one summer. You learned how to look stuff up. There you go. That's why.
Rail King or other standard
So this guy will be telling them 3 feet, 2 feet, 1 foot, contact.
holding the side or end of the
Poof.
rail car attached to a
Then we'll give it a pull test to see if it's grabbed on enough.
engineered sliding coupler. When operating the uncoupling lever, use your hand nearest the equipment to operate the lever. Face the direction of movement. Do not jerk
So
the
he's going to
lever.
uncouple.
Watch for pinch points. Place your hand on the portion of the lever designed as the handle. Do not run while operating the lever, and do not use your feet to operate the uncoupling lever. When connecting air hoses, keep 1 foot outside the rail whenever possible. Treat all angle cocks and air hoses as
Have you ever seen the machine they bring in to replace rails in place? It's really cool. I think I have seen something like that.
legs and feet clear the air hose coupling. Listen for escaping air.
LD limit is the max weight it can carry? Load limit? Could be.
If you hear an air leak, close both angle cocks and make sure there is no pressure in
Now he's hooking up the glad hands.
adjusting or repairing the leak. Never kick, strike, or jostle pressurized
Springs on the rail cars. Can you imagine the force it takes to compress? Oh,
to an uncoupled air hose. Grasp the hose at the glad
it's amazing.
near the vent port. Brace the glad hand firmly against your thigh just above the knee. Turn your face away from the glad hand before opening the angle cock.
Just to think how heavy some of these cars are. When they're fully loaded, you know, 200,000 pounds is nothing really.
Turning your face away from the coupling. Do not open the angle cock on the leading end of a moving car or trackmobile to control or stop movement.
There we go. Pull test. You gonna pull? There we go. Give it a pull test. The glad hand should pull away.
There are 3 categories
Oh,
of hand
now he's using a
vertical wheel, lever, and horizontal wheel.
bar.
Vertical wheel.
Now he's turning the that's the handbrake right there.
When operating handbrakes, determine brake location, brake position.
So that's the old style where it's like
Never operate handbrakes on moving equipment
where it's located.
in an emergency situation. The preferred method of or releasing handbrakes is to use a brake stick. If you do not use a
These guys are using a brake stick, but we won't use one where I'm at. We'll climb up on the deck and do it by hand.
On the left side of the brake with your left foot on the ladder rung and your right foot on the brake platform. Grab the ladder rung or top handhold with your left
So you gonna
hand
climb up there?
and operate the brake with your right hand. Do not use your feet to operate the handbrake except to manipulate the pawl on horizontal wheel brakes.
Okay. Well, you're supposed to use that brake stick so that you don't have to stand in between the cars like this guy's doing. So it looks like he's standing in between them.
Be alert and hold on to the ladder firmly. For vertical wheel operation, place the release lever.
There you go. Now he's standing out there.
Reaching behind the
Sticks a
brake
little
wheel,
longer.
not through the wheel spokes. Turn the brake wheel clockwise to take up slack in the brake chain. Watch for the brake chain.
The other one is weight in. Yeah, they'll have the net and tear for the
Has been taken up. Apply pressure to the brake wheel.
Yeah.
Turn it
load limit. Looks like it says 195,000 pounds load weight. Or load tear, I guess, 72,100 pounds.
clockwise using short, steady.
It's like the springs in your car suspension. People don't realize those can easily kill you. Yeah, for sure.
Rotate the
Look at those numbskulls that open up air brakes. They open up the pots. They think it's a good idea. That spring's going to kill you. It's so compressed in there, and yet people keep opening them up. Don't do that. Don't open them up.
If the brake still does not operate, bad
The old ATSF, Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. There's a song about that.
grip the wheel.
I've heard that one.
Turn the
Andrews
engine
Sisters.
clockwise until the brake releases.
Okay, tightening it up. Set the handbrake. You always have to set the handbrake. Yeah, how many years do you think it took for them to design an air coupling that would disengage automatically when you pull away instead of brake?
And you were unsure how to use them.
They must have had to do it by hand for a lot of years before they got that design right.
Never step on rails, frogs, switches, or connections.
So he's not walking between the rails, he's walking beside them.
An uncoupled trackmobile and cars when clearance between them is less than 40 feet, unless proper safeguards are.
Judy Garland did a better version of that song in Harvey Girls. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to watch Harvey Girls. Because I do like Judy Garland.
When stepping out from between cars or trackmobile, employees must watch for equipment moving on adjacent tracks or vehicles and machinery moving. Do not cross within 20 feet of the end of standing equipment. You may cross within 20 feet of standing equipment provided.
So they're telling you right now,
For all equipment on
cross.
5
You have to cross like 20 feet.
for movement is
Our
crossing track.
our regulations are 25 feet. So you can only cross 25 feet away from standing rail equipment. You remind you of the shipping container safety course.
training video include
I mean, they need to have those.
between cars or trackmobile, rail car movement, signals, uncoupling and coupling rail equipment, air hose operation, handbrake operation, chalking cars.
We don't have a trackmobile though. We don't have. We just use a loader with a knuckle on the front. So I operate the front end loader and I move the machine or move the rail cars around.
But by following plant safety procedures and watching out for your fellow coworkers, you can help prevent accidents, injuries, and fatalities.
That's an Attack on Titan. Normie anime. You just watch a guy break open a brake pot with an acetylene tank in the Spring's Path of Travel. Oh man. DJ. That's terrible. You never do that. Video and boring voiceover. I thought I had some pictures here. Actually, what did I see here? There were some shorts they had. They were doing like track repairs. And I think they have to use like thermite. Here it is. Check this out.
हेलो दोस्तों, रेलवे ट्रैक तो आप सभी लोगों ने देखा होगा। क्या आप जानते हैं जब रेलवे ट्रैक बीच में से खराब हो जाता है तो इसमें जॉइंट किस तरीके से लगाया जाता है? आइए आपको बताते हैं। दरअसल इसके लिए एक स्पेशल तरीके का खांचा आता है जिसको रेलवे ट्रैक
They're going to join it using thermite.
इसको सेट करने के बाद इसको अच्छे से मिट्टी लगाई जाती है ताकि केमिकल बाहर ना आए, और फिर इसको गर्म करने के बाद एक स्पेशल टाइप का मटेरियल इसके अंदर डाला जाता है और उसके साथ मेटल भी डाला जाता है। इसमें एक विस्फोट करके इस केमिकल को इसके अंदर इंजेक्ट किया जाता है। लेकिन वीडियो
I don't know if this is the right way that we would do it here.
चैनल को लाइक करके सब्सक्राइब करें। भगवान उनकी उम्र को लंबी करे और उनको जिंदगी में हमेशा खुश रखे। केमिकल अंदर जाने के बाद हम इसके ठंडे होने का वेट करेंगे और एक स्पेशल टाइप की मशीन से हम इसका जो एक्स्ट्रा पार्ट है वो बाहर निकाल लेंगे। जब ये ठंडा हो जाएगा तो हम हथौड़े की मदद से इसको फालतू भाग को इसके हटा लेंगे और ग्राइंडर से इसको प्लेन कर देंगे। उसके बाद ट्रेन इस पर दौड़ने के लिए तैयार है। थैंक यू।
Okay.
दोस्तों, रेलवे ट्रैक तो आप सभी लोगों
Brave drivers leading those cars from the front. He brakes too hard and he's fruit roll up. Yeah. Recently picked up decent diesel train sim. Gonna try train crash sim next. Oh. You're waiting for Tits to make foreign workers comment. Yeah, the hydraulic thing they used to remove the excess. I'm trying to see if I got that video of me moving rail cars. Should have it here. I found it before. Give me one moment as I have a peek through these. Bum, 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 bum. Should have something here. Try to be a bit more prepared, but things are busy. For those of you that don't know, I am moving from where I live now. Here it is. You weren't going to say it, but you know who you're thinking it. You think is the track layer? You remember seeing the in person once? Okay. All right, so let's do like this. Let's go close that. Open this. Go like that. And go like this. There we go. There's the rail cars. I'm in the loader. I've got the knuckle. And we're gonna move some cars. And I have the camera on a suction cup right against the windshield of the loader. Always check your clearance when you're going by the crossover there. And I think I'm going to grab onto one of those black cars right there. And we'll hit up the next one. You wonder if large gears are always smiling. So many teeth showing all the time. Ho, 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 ho. Since it's Canada, is that a moose knuckle? It could be. So now I have to get onto the track. And I'll do that by backing up here onto the track. And then head over. Get close. And then I have to wait for the ground man to come by, and we'll connect up. So I'll have to couple up to the rail car. And I'll get the next one. Okay, there's the ground man there. He'll talk to me by radio. Try to get that connected. Pull test. Oh, failed the pull test. Try again. Nope. I think he's got to open up the knuckle again, the coupling. Yeah. Open that up. Good. Make sure the other one's open too. FPS Train Simulator coming soon from EA. Actually, it'd probably be better if it came from me rather than EA. At least I wouldn't charge DLC for reverse gear. Oh, you want that? You gotta pay extra. Oh, that's DLC. No, we're having a hard time hooking that coupling up. Not sure what the problem is. Hey, Veritax, do you know what 1131 is for your placards there? Would Canadian EA be EA? EA? I have to admit they would used to make a really good hockey game though. I like playing their hockey games. EA Sports. It's in the game. Okay. Hooked up. Finally got it. Next. I'm hooked up to a hydrogen sulfide car. Yeah, you nailed it, Veritax. That's exactly what it is. Carbon disulfide, yep. So now I'm being told to move this car forward. We position the rail cars. When we have to move them into position, we have to use some as reacher cars so we can reach and pull them back into position, which is what we're doing here. We're moving along, but then we're going to connect up to some of the other cars just to move them into position. Because calling CN to come and do this would be way too expensive. So we do it ourselves. It's just a matter of moving cars, grabbing them and pulling them back into place, pulling them onto the scale. And that's, we can handle that sort of thing. MSLX, the old Minnesota short line? Not quite Veritax. That's not what MSLX stands for. So now I think what's going on is just waiting for, they're connecting up to another one, and I just did the pull test there. Make sure all the couplings are connected together. Okay. And let's see, moving right along here. So right now I've got the loader set at first gear, and I'm just above an idle. Because moving these things, you can get them going, but trying to get them to stop, that's another whole nother problem. So we'll just move along here. Looks like I'm connected up to another car, and he should tell me to give it the pull test here. So when I hook up to the car, he has to jump up on there and loosen the handbrake. Make sure that none of the air brakes are on, and then I'll do the pull check. And then we will keep moving along. You didn't find another definition for MSLX, though. You did find suggested that most that in X indicate private ownership. Yeah, that's true. The company does own the white rail cars. All right, what's this one now? Okay, yep. It's telling me to back up. And then what I think I have to do is go around to the other side and push this guy back into place, because I'm at the very end. The very end of the track. The end of the line, so I have to go around and hook up to the other end where that black car is. And I'll do that by backing in again. So I'll turn around, and then it's a good thing the loader's articulated. It's so much easier to maneuver. You get into some really tight turns. And we'll get onto the track again, and then I'm going to just push this guy back into place. Climb the tower? Nope. It's a big show. It's a big to-do to try to get permission to climb the tower. Unless I have something to do up there on the 100-foot level, we don't ever climb the stack. So I haven't had to yet. Okay, and here comes the ground man. He's going to let me know I'm okay and line up the coupling. Make sure that one's open. He's going to make sure the knuckle on the loader is open. Okay. First shot. Got it. An X-Men. So right now, should be loosening off the handbrake. And then when he gives me the word, I'm going to come forward. Here we go. Nice and slow. There he is over there. He's way out of harm's way, which is good. There's no sense to stand right beside the rail car. We're moving along here. We're going to want to park it right underneath this rack, because that's where it gets filled. It's filled from, it's a top filling rail car. We'll get it into place there. He'll come and set the brakes and let me go. There we go. A little bit shaky there because it's trying to stop all this weight. And then finally, cut loose. And I can head on back, because we borrowed this loader from the other facility, so I have to take this back. So we'll just go through the gate here. And away we go. Off the gravel road. Not bad. This is just a Canon camera that I bought a couple of years back. Well, maybe a decade now. Anyways, seems to do all right for video and such. And we'll cross the street. And the rail crossing is going off. So I make sure to take a good long look to make sure they're not going to get hit by a train. And then off we go. Get this thing up to a whopping 20 miles per hour. can see the rocking it has. The suspension is it's all in the seat. It's an air ride seat that we got in there. You watch when we go over the tracks here. Not too bad. I think it's because it's got air-filled tires. If they were solid, it'd be a lot more of a rough ride. There we go. And that is it. That's me pulling around rail cars. So yeah. All right, well, I'm going to wrap things up here, you guys. It was I had a fun time. I hope you guys did too. I just want to thank you all who came by today, like David Glenn and Alex Moore, DJ Ronnie G, and Godzillionaire. That's everyone's favorite kaiju, you know. And of course, Blaine. It's always good to see you, buddy. And Comic Relief Crusader stopping in to say hi. That was nice of you. And James. And Tits and Ray Guns, of course. And Human Blaze the Cat. It's always nice to see everybody stop on by. Veritax. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys. There is not going to be any stream this weekend. This weekend is moving weekend. So Saturdays and Sundays, no stream for me. Hopefully I'll catch up with you guys the week after. Yeah, busy time. I even had to take Thursday and Friday off work to get things done. So I will be off Thursday and Friday, but it's not to do anything enjoyable. It's all related to moving. So hope I'll catch up with you guys after the move. I'll let you know how it went. The one Sunday that you're off from work. Figures, eh, DJ? Yeah. Oh, well. So please do me a favor if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word. Let everybody know Pop is here. There's some other good channels to watch. If you're not watching me on Saturday and Sunday, you can watch Pacific 4 and 4. And weeknights at 7 p.m. Pacific, you can watch Blaine's Escape Corner. You can tune into Ronin66 and DJ Ronnie G. He has a Monday night program that I like to tune into. He does all sorts of neat stuff. If you like turtles or astronomy or tech stuff, he's your man. You can watch Brandon the Anime Guy. I tuned into him before I started my stream tonight. There's the Nerdporeal Lifeform and Angry Canadian. Our own Rupa Trupa and Punkwaddle. But yes, no stream Saturday, no stream Sunday. We'll see about next week for Trades Talk Tuesday. If I have internet, I can do it. If not, well, it'll have to wait. But anyways, until I see you all again, I will be out there. I will be out there on the YouTube land. Maybe not broadcasting anything, but I'll show up and chat, and I'll see you guys around. It's always good to see you guys. And yes, Punkwaddle is currently at Snacks Channel for Nip and Nag. Maybe go check those guys out. Tell them you just came from Pop's channel, and tell them I said hi. All right then. Until next time, everyone, have yourselves a great week. I've been Pop, and I am signing off.